Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is John Akers. John Akers is the founder and CEO for Akers Manufacturing and the inventor of casino systems technology. Since 1972, the Akers name has been synonymous with groundbreaking casino technology. In 1981, Akers started his first business, Electronic Data Technologies. EDT created a system that allowed casinos to track slot machine players by using loyalty cards, offering gamblers rewards based on how much they played. In 1984, Akers sold the company for $1 million. Well, good afternoon, John. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome, John. We've been looking forward to this podcast and again, working with you and your team and your agency. This is amazing. What we're going to do right now is jump into the questions so we can get into your story a little bit so we can turn around and share this with our audience. So, John, you've got quite the career in technology, manufacturing. You're a serial entrepreneur, and now you're the founder and CEO of Akers Manufacturing. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
Well, there's really no secret. It's a matter of coming up with an idea, as you said, that inspires you, and then just working really hard at it. The idea that inspires me has always been kind of the intersection of human psychology and technology. And I found that opportunity very early on, and of all places, the casino. So I've been working for the last 50 years now, figuring out what makes people want to gamble and giving it to them. And in so doing, creating computer systems and measuring systems that track everything that happens to a player, determines when they are becoming discouraged, and give them an incentive or an offer that removes that discouragement and encourages them to continue to play.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm sure you've seen over your career how technology has had that impact in, especially in the casino industry that you're focused on right now. So that's amazing. And we're hearing a lot of great innovation that is coming out literally by the day. So thank you for sharing that. So John, now that the pandemic is starting to lift, hopefully it's over, we've all learned, what's your business growth going forward? And will it be any different than the last 16 months?
Absolutely. Our growth is skyrocketing. When the pandemic hit, it was pretty depressing. And certainly from the health aspects of it, it's awful. But what it did do is it caused everyone in our industry to question everything about how they operated. And that reveals a lot of new opportunities. Things that we had thought of that we've been trying to get people to use for a long time, and candidly, things that we never imagined that became apparent as we went forward. We're doing a lot of equipment to deliver instantaneous gratification to players when they're on their slot machines, to transfer money to those games as bonuses. And what we found because of the COVID crisis was that customers that were coming to the casinos, and they were quite a few fewer this time last year than there are now. Back then, the casinos were empty, and today they're packed. But that there's an apprehension about touching paper money and about somehow picking up the virus or another disease from holding that paper. And so we were able then to kind of pivot ourselves and take the very same mechanisms that let us pay bonuses and incentives to players and use that to implement cashless wagering so that a player can open an account and move money electronically from their bank to this account and then hold their phone next to the slot machine for about a half a second and transfer their money to and from the game so they never have to touch paper. And that's been a booming product for us. We have sold so far about 45,000 units, about $20 million worth, and we expect that to double over the next 12 months.
Wow, that's amazing. And that is great leveraging, something that we wouldn't have had, 10, 20 years ago. We have something now to help minimize the spread of viruses. So that's awesome. So John, you're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies within your tech stack, right? Is there anything you can share with us today?
Sure. We work in the areas of two kinds of technology. one technology, and technology being a method of doing something, I think is the definition of it. The one technology is in the realm of electronics and computers, and that's gathering a very rich set of data that describes everything about what the player is experiencing and getting it into a centralized location in real time. And for us, real time is that we collect and start to make use of that data within a half a second of the time that a player takes an action. Now, the other part of it is the psychological part. And what we know is that players don't visit a casino to win money, which surprises non-casino gamblers. The players that come to the casinos already know that the odds are stacked against them. What they're hoping for is a decent period of time. What they really want is they want recognition, and they want to feel like they're important and that they're a winner. And the people that are attracted to the casinos are not stupid people. They're not people with a lack of self-control. Many of them are very, very successful, but they are the glass half full kind of people, in that they remember the good outcomes of life much more strongly than they remember the downsides of life. So, for example, a player with our system would remember the win of $500 on a slot machine in an evening more than they would remember the $700 they spent to win it. So they'll go home thinking, hey, I won $500 tonight, and they allow themselves to forget that they lost $200 in the process. So we are at the cusp of taking all of that data that we gather and think about the psychological and psychographic needs of the player by individual, because what we've learned is that every individual is different in their circumstance, their budget, and their preferences, and calculating exactly when and with what we should intervene to retain their hope. So that's the kind of technologies that we're working on.
And that's pretty cool. Leveraging, today it's all about that deep learning or machine learning with all the data that you have. And you can do it in near real time is simply amazing. So I appreciate the share on that. And John, last question. Can you share something from your career experience that might be helpful for those looking to grow their career in either technology or entrepreneurship?
I think that, just like the example I gave, that you end up having a certain set of knowledge and a generalized goal of what you want to do. But it's really important that you wake up every day and figure out where it's going to fit to generate the commerce and the profit that's going to allow you to do your work tomorrow. I've never been in this strictly to make money, although we do make money. I look at the money, the profit, as fuel in the gas tank to be able to do the next thing. And if I want to put fuel in my gas tank, I have to take the ideas that I'm very passionate about and figure out how to express them in terms that people want to buy and use in the moment. So again, on that COVID thing where we developed ourselves to do bonuses, and I believe that bonuses, things that will cause people to continue to play, are the most important thing we're going to do over the next 5 years. For the next year, the most important thing we're going to do is remove the need to touch green paper in a casino, remove that point of contact. It saves the casinos about 10% on their operating expenses. It saves the player the hassle of managing that green paper. And it removes, as you said, the fear of contracting some sort of a virus or something by a piece of paper that's been passed around across dozens, if not hundreds of people. And so for us, a great pivotal moment was realizing that we could take the technology that we built for one purpose and very, very quickly deploy it for a completely different purpose. And I think that to be a successful entrepreneur, you always have to be open to that. To be looking for the other possibilities that you might have missed, and not allow yourself to be just a one-track thought.
I love that. And you're absolutely right. And that's very common amongst a lot of the guests that have been on the show, John, around that innovative or creativity and always being curious, knowing that at any one given moment, the industry could change on you, or there could be a pandemic and you've got to shift. So that's awesome. And John, it was a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. Good talking to you.
Bye for now.